With the scorching temperatures of an Iberian summer behind us, we were heading into prime fishing season, and to be honest, the break from the blistering heat was more than welcome. To kick off the autumn's fishing, I'll be joined by the creative marketing manager at Nash Tackle and good friend Henry Lennon. We'd planned a shoot for Nash Tackle earlier in the year, and the first week's angling was explosive to say the least, but I'll let Henry tell you about that later. With the Nash shoot behind us, our last 5 nights would be spent exploring the vast wilderness of the Guadiana River. Over the last 18 months, I developed a bit of an obsession with this river system, and with favourable conditions in front of us, we hoped for a Spanish river monster before Henry had to return to the UK. Well, what do you reckon of the river then, buddy?
It's pretty savage. It is pretty intense. Not quite the quaint little English rivers I'm used to.
No.
It's going to take a different approach, which I'm hoping you're going to show me.
Mate, with pleasure. It's a really, really snaggy river.
Yep.
Literally all the sections are full of timber and fallen trees and rocks and all sorts, and that presents its own challenges, man, but there are a handful of really beautiful and big mirrors.
I've seen a few of the photos that you show me, and I think it's worth putting up with all that aggro to try and catch one of them.
What do you reckon our goals should be then for this trip then, mate?
Well, I reckon 20 kilo.
If we can catch a 20 kilo mirror.
20 kilo. I would say 40 pounder, but there's Europeans watching, so we've got to accommodate them. And you can't really say 18 kilos, that's a bit shit, isn't it?
Bit wank.
Yeah, so 20 kilos, 20 kilo river carp.
Yeah, okay, that's the target then.
That's the challenge.
We've got 6 nights to achieve that, buddy. And the sun is about to set again.
We've left it a bit late, haven't we?
We have a bit, mate, so I guess we best get the boats off the roofs, get our stuff out the vans, and try and get ourselves into position for the night then,
Get to work, yeah, let's do it.
It's all our kit packed. Just about to head down river now. It's going to be a late one tonight, isn't it, buddy?
Oh yes.
Yeah, I think like midnight finish. Right, let's get the water. As we sailed into the setting sun, we knew we had a long night ahead of us. Well, that's one of 3 bites from last night and this morning. 2 landed using the clip technique. When the sun gets up, I'm going to show you guys exactly how we're using them. Thanks, little buddy. Beautiful sunrise with the mist coming off the river. Looks pucker this morning. Be lovely. We could nick a couple of decent ones today. Rivers are always full of a mixed bag of fish. So this particular stretch, I think only has 6 or 7 really big ones. You know, it's not always the easiest technique, not always the technique for everyone as well at the same time. But for me, when I'm fishing in these snags, that's exactly how I want to fish. Alright, Henry.
I'll shoot you, bastard.
That little walk, that little shuffle then was quite funny. It was a beautiful and tranquil morning on the river, with mist rolling off the water and the sound of birdsong in the air, but the silence was about to be shattered by the three-phase groundwater pump we'd set up next to. Absolutely savage takes here, honestly. See the rod proper buckled up, isn't it, Henry?
Insane, man. Never seen anything like it. Have you been out and redone all your rods?
No, the only one, every rod's gone except for the boilie.
Right, okay.
Yeah, the boilie's
But you said that the tigers are all gone?
Oh, yeah, half eaten some of them, yeah.
So you reckon I should go out and redo them?
I reckon definitely we should have a look, mate. Do that now. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yeah! Oh, no monster, but I'm always happy to see a mirror from a sea of commons out the river. Cool one, man. It's just different, isn't it? No monster, but a really, really cool carp all the same. These Spanish mirrors are so unique to this country, and you can spot them a mile off. This was no exception. Really cool colours, lovely big plates. Give me a hell of a scrap. It's one of 3 captures so far. So yeah, things are going okay. Things are starting to work out nicely here, to be honest. We're just hoping in the next 24 hours we can catch one of the big ones that reside in this stretch. If not, we'll be off to explore. Hopefully find some more cool carp like these. Thanks for coming, buddy. Right, let's get his rods back out. This is horrible. Oh no, he's stuck. We have to go for him. Oh yeah, I can feel it. The fish had swam under a large piece of timber that wasn't visible from the surface, and despite my best efforts, the carp was lost to a hook pull.
Well, Samir's having it off at the minute, but I've sadly not had any bites, and fishing similar sort of way, same bait, similar sort of spots, so I think the only logical explanation can be the rig. I'm using Fluorolink D-rigs straight through in 35 pound now. This is a rig that I really favour when I'm fishing rivers and big wild waters in Europe, but I normally do it in about 20-25 pound. We've had to go up to 35 pound here because of the snags. I just think it might be a little bit too stiff and isn't going back into the fish's mouth far enough to hook them. So I've sheeped Samir up a little bit in the rig department, gone for 35 pound skin link with a little strip back section. Hopefully that suppleness will allow the hook to fly back further into the fish's mouth, and I can enjoy some of the action that he's been experiencing this morning. To maximise efficiency, we're not reeling the rods in, redoing them, dropping them. We're just going to go out, keep everything in the clip still, because that's the time. That'll be the rod. Because that's normally the time-consuming endeavour we have to go through. We're just going over, picking the lead out of the water, attaching this new rig and dropping it back into position with a handful of bait. We're happy with the spots, no need to change them. All we're doing is changing the rig to something more Samir-like.
Some places are just more special than others, and some carp are just more unique than the rest. This is the story of two mates' adventure deep into the wild of Spain's vast river network in search of those unexampled and rare carp, and boy did we hit gold. See the rod proper buckled up, isn't it, Henry?
Insane, mate. Never seen anything like it.
Well, that's one of 3 bites from last night and this morning. 2 landed using the clip technique.
Pretty savage. Not quite the quaint little English rivers I'm used to.
Get 18 moose. Don't fall off. It's bigger than it, moose.
The second big carp of this morning. And I'm totally gassed, I swear. A truly incredible carp from an extremely snaggy river.
It's been unreal. So good.
So good.